Offiziell präsentiert von der IWA Outdoor Classics, Eyes on Target. Und unseren Partnern Gecko Ammunition und VfG Weaponcare.
Hier ist Danielle für Lowrider Media von der IWA 2023. Ich bin am Spyderco Stand und die Joyce und ich, wir werden gleich einen absoluten Klassiker unter den Spyderco Foldern vorstellen, nämlich das Military Messer. Joyce, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
We're talking about the military, a very classic folding knife of Spyderco, and there is a history behind that, and I'd really be interested in the history of this knife. Please tell us something about it.
There's a lot of history to this knife. So in 1996, this knife was developed by the owner of Spyderco, and someone had asked him if his son had to go to war, what would he want his son to carry in the field? And so everything he designed into the knife would be the features that he felt would be best for his son, and in turn be better for someone that might be deployed in the sand somewhere. It hasn't changed much in 26 years. It hasn't been upgraded. It hasn't been greatly improved in a lot of different ways. We decided to go ahead and take this year, add a lot of new improvements. Technology has come a long way in 26 years.
Also sie sagt, dieses Messer hat ihren Ursprung darin, dass der Besitzer des Unternehmens gefragt wurde, was er denn einer Person mitgeben würde, die in den Krieg ziehen muss, was ein Messer können muss für diesen Grund oder für diese Unternehmung. Und das Messer gibt es seit 26 Jahren. Es hat sich seitdem nicht viel verändert, aber dennoch kommen immer wieder neue Features dazu, um am neuesten Stand der Technik zu bleiben. Okay, let's talk about the features.
So I'll show you what's different between the old one and the new one.
Okay.
And some of them are subtle. The original military model had what we call a liner lock. The liner lock at the time was considered very high tech. It still is a preferable lock to a lot of models that we make and a lot of models in the industry that other people make. The biggest change here again is that we've changed from a liner lock to what we call a compression lock. And a compression lock works differently than a liner lock in that the compression lock takes the liner and has, to put it very simply, has a piece of steel on the end that drops into a slightly larger hole inside. So once that steel drops into that hole, we call it a compression lock because the more pressure you put on it, the more it compresses that steel inside. And what that translates to is a very, very strong lock that takes up very little room.
Im Vergleich zum alten, hier hat man diesen Lock noch hier vorne. Jetzt ist er hier. Das Gute an dieser Sicherung ist, dass umso mehr Druck an die Klinge kommt vorne, desto stärker wird das hier verriegelt und desto weniger kann diese Klinge auch einfach wieder einfahren, ohne dass man es möchte. Also es ist ein sehr, sehr starker Lock. Alright, what else?
The original model had a clip that only would allow you to carry the knife right-handed with the tip facing up when it was closed in your pocket. The newer model has a more advanced clip called an hourglass clip. It allows you to put the knife clip tip up, tip down, left hand or right hand.
Oh, that's great.
So if you're right-handed and you prefer to carry one way, you can do that.
Der Clip ist neu, er hat jetzt so eine Sanduhrenform. Er kann links und rechts getragen werden. Und das ist sehr, sehr cool, finde ich. Und man kann es auch hier oben, den Clip kann man auch oben fixieren. Very, very cool feature. What else?
The lanyard hole has been increased. That's very important. If you were to use this knife, say in the field or downrange, you could add a lanyard to that to make sure that if you drop it, it's not going anywhere.
Okay, also sie sagt auch, es ist das Loch für, wenn man zum Beispiel einen Paracord unten durchschieben möchte, ist jetzt größer und kann man einfach leichter handhaben. Alright.
So the original, it was designed with the very open back. Mm-hmm. And this was designed that, again, if you had it outside and it became dirty inside, say you had sand or something in here, you'd be able to take compressed air or water and clean out the inside. So we've gone from what we call a back spacer to really just back pegs. Mm-hmm. It lets you can see all the way through the knife there, lets you clean it very easily. You could just take this and run this underwater if you wanted to, or against compressed air, and get it clean.
Es ist jetzt von dieser großen Spacerplatte, also dieser Abstandshalter, jetzt viel kleiner geworden. Es sind jetzt diese winzigen Metallspacer dazwischen. Das macht es noch viel leichter, es zu reinigen, entweder mit Luftdruck oder einfach unter laufendem Wasser. Also man kann hier auch wirklich durchschauen. Es ist sehr, sehr praktisch, wenn man das Messer mal wirklich gut putzen möchte oder wenn es sandig wird zum Beispiel. Alright, very cool.
Nice. Last but not least, we've changed the shape a little bit. If you look at the profile on the old version versus the new has a slightly different shape, what we call pommel here. And because we don't have to accommodate the liner lock, the compression lock takes up a very small area in what we call the cockpit. The cockpit is basically from the edge of the blade down past where the locking mechanism would be. That also let us change the handle so that we had a little bit more cut out here. We have what we call a deep finger choil. And that finger choil allows you to put the knife, position your hand on the knife so that I'm actually a little closer to the cutting edge. And I have great control for detail or fine cutting. Mm-hmm. The one thing I would suggest, put them both in your hand and see what you think. You can feel the difference.
Also sie sagt, dass sich die Form leicht verändert hat. Und ich muss sagen, man spürt das auch. Also es macht auch wirklich einen Unterschied. Es hat sich vor allem durch diesen neuen Verschluss hier vorne die Form geändert. Es braucht viel weniger Platz. Und daher konnte man auch sich da besser an die Ergonomie der Finger anpassen. Und ich muss sagen, es liegt auch ganz anders in der Hand. Es passt sehr, sehr gut. All right, I feel the difference actually. Yeah. There is the difference.
It's more ergonomic.
Yeah.
It's very subtle, but it's there. Now, the biggest change in this whole knife is that because technology has gotten so much better in our factory since 1996, we're able to offer the new model at $70 cheaper than the original model.
Wow, that's new. Usually new products are always cheaper. Always more expensive, sorry.
Don't you wish they all did that?
That's great, great. Weil die Technologie so weit vorangeschritten ist, gibt es jetzt dieses neue Messer wirklich tatsächlich $70 günstiger, obwohl es ganz neu ist. Und das finde ich schon richtig, richtig toll. That is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.